All right, guys, welcome to the show. I am quickly. At this time, I am joined by a very lovely guest. She is a member of the Guerrero family, Shaul Guerrero. Shaul, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. It's so great to be here.
Well, I thank you for coming on the show. Now, I do believe this is your first interview since leaving WWE, so I do thank you for, coming on our show.
No, I'm honored. I'm actually really excited. I've been looking forward to it for a long time.
Now, as I mentioned, you were on NXT, and a lot of people were like, a bit surprised that when you went, from SW to NXT, that they never actually used you as a Guerrero. I mean, do you think it would have been better for your career if they actually used you, like, use your real name as opposed to the name they used in the end?
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty surprised by it too. When they told me my name would be Raquel Diaz, I was like, but wait, I'm a Guerrero. But I think it helped me in certain ways because it kind of made me earn my name. Like the Guerreros are one of the greatest families in wrestling, and I liked that I had to earn my name. But I think toward the end of my career with NXT, I would have liked to be recognized as a Guerrero, and I think it would have opened the door for me and my mom to work together. And so, yeah, I think by toward the end, I would have really liked it, but I think it also helped me too.
Yeah, I mean, like you look at other people that have been in WWE and use their family name. Randy Orton. From
Yeah.
day one, he's been using the Orton name, and people could link him to his father. And I think
hmm
with you, that would have been great because they could have easily lived, used your surname and used the Guerrero name,
hmm
you know, uh, as you say,
Yeah.
on the main roster, especially with your mother. That would be a great idea.
Yeah, I really really wanted it, and I always like brought up that idea, but for some reason it just they just weren't down for it. But I it was really cool though because I didn't get stuck into doing a character that people would expect of me. Like doing something that my dad did or my mom. I feel like I kind of came into my own and found my own character and got to explore myself a lot more. And so I think that a lot more good came out of it, even though I didn't get to, be recognized as a Guerrero. Hello.
Hey there, sorry about that. My phone crashed.
It's all good. I
I'm
was
sat
just
here,
concerned.
I'm sat here, I'm like, the call's still dead. Oh crap! I'm sat here going, oh damn it, god damn it.
It's all good. I'm just glad you're back.
I think because I think it was mine in the crash, so I think my producer got all the audio. So like for that question, but
Okay.
I didn't hear what was said. So I guess I'll just go on to the next.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
all of a sudden it just went. You asked the question, you answered the question, and then Chris just completely cut off.
Yeah. So I heard nothing.
We're good now, so we're okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't know where you went to. So I'm just gonna go from another question that I lined up.
I mean, if you want, you can. I mean, we can just go ahead and keep going if you want, or I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
like
yeah,
repeat
yeah.
the question.
We'll keep going. Like
Okay.
because the last thing I heard was that the fact that you mentioned that you wanted to do that you wanted to work with your mother. So I'll kind of go off that question.
Yeah, basically, yeah, I did want to work with my mom, and for some reason, they didn't want to use the Guerrero name, but I think a lot more good came out of, me not using the Guerrero name because it really broadened my horizons creatively, and as a wrestler, and I felt like I kind of had to earn it a lot more, so, but more good came out of it than bad.
Now, if you could have worked with your mother, what idea would you went with?
Oh, hello?
Hello, yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, just making sure. Um, you know what? Like me and my mom actually did a couple of promos together at the WWE PC, and it was so great working together. Like it was actually uncanny how much chemistry her and I had. Because we were like, oh man, this could either be really bad or it could be really good. But I had several ideas. I had several ideas of them bringing me on as her assistant. And she, in her true Vickie Guerrero fashion, she could easily manipulate me to do things that she would want me to do. You know what I mean? And or we could possibly, you know, band together as Guerreros and just wreak havoc on and get our way as women and as Guerreros. There are just so many different angles that you can come out of it because she is such a talented performer. And I think I could have worked with her really well. But virtually anything you could think we could do, we could have brought it to life.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be a cool idea. Like as I said before, you know, Icon disappeared. Most wrestlers like that are from a wrestling family tend to use their wrestling name. Case in point, Randy Orton. And in your case,
yeah.
But you also right because I think you kind of forged your own image by going yourself. So that's a cool thing. Now, you were both in FCW and NXT. What was the change, you know, wrestler-wise, going from the FCW setup to the NXT setup?
You know, the WWE really stepped up everything, you know, from FCW to NXT. I remember when I walked into FCW in Tampa, Florida, I was just beyond impressed of the facilities that they had, of the work ethic we had to go through. And when I took a break for a year and I came back and everything was NXT, everything was just so incredibly different. I'm sure you've seen the WWE Performance Center and how amazing it is. But the work ethic really changed too. I mean, like, you're practicing every single day for hours on end, and you're also in the weight room. And, you know, they really focused a lot on our promo work, on our character work. You have virtually every single, you know, avenue you could ever dream of as an entertainer and as a wrestler. So I would say that, you know, the work definitely increased physically, but I feel like we still had like our coaches were amazing, and with NXT you have more of a range of coaches because they were able to bring in just special guest coaches from all around the world, which was a real privilege. But yeah, I definitely say NXT is has stepped up like times 10 from FCW.
I once went down to Florida and I once went to FCW, and I went there for like, I'm guessing it was kind of like a house show kind of thing. And the card was great, but there were like 10 fans there. Like,
it was so much fun. I miss FCW.
Like, it was like a great card. Like, I saw people like Seth Rollins, I saw like Brodus Clay, I saw yourself as well. But like the fans were too busy, you know, kind of focusing on themselves than the wrestlers. I'm like, how can you sit there and, like, you know, chant for yourself when you've got, you know, great wrestlers in the ring? Like, so I think them going to NXT was a great idea. And as you say, if it does focus on the future of pro wrestling, and we've seen stars from NXT come up already, and the fact that we now have NXT on TV, in my opinion, is even better.
Oh, it is totally just so much better because, you know, you have a mini SmackDown or Raw at NXT, and it keeps just getting bigger and bigger. And, you know, now they have pay-per-views that, well, not necessarily pay-per-views, but, you know, we have live specials, you know, at NXT, and it's just, you know, the opportunity is absolutely amazing there. You know, if, you know, you're pursuing a career in wrestling, you know, that is definitely the place to be. And it was, for the time I was with WWE, it was a blessing every single day to be there. And, but yeah, you definitely have, you know, the world in the palm of your hand at NXT. And it's only a matter of time, you know, for you to be on the main roster.
I've got a fan question from Francis. How much fun did you have being the queen of FCW?
Oh my God, I had so much fun. That was my first title I ever received, and it's really special. I actually still have the tiara in my closet, and I had so much fun because, first of all, I got to work with Oksana, and I got to take the title off of her, and she was just such an amazing person to wrestle and to work with. And not only that, like, I felt like once I had that title, I was really able to branch out and explore my promo work, explore, you know, wrestling, because I was a manager for most of the time before that with the Ascension. So, you know, that title really opened up a lot of doors, and it still holds a special place in my heart.
Now, how, like, you mentioned you were a manager. I mean, how did the idea come up to, you know, transcend from being a manager to being a wrestler?
You know, actually, I expressed how much I wanted to wrestle. I'm pretty sure if you talk to anybody, either from FCW or NXT, they can tell you that I'm very headstrong with what I want. And if I want to wrestle, I will work the hardest I absolutely can, and I will be very vocal about what I want to do. And I kept bugging everybody at FCW, like, hey, I want to wrestle. Hey, I want to wrestle. Like, let me wrestle. Let me wrestle. And finally, they gave me a shot, and I took it and I ran with it. So it's just about, like, when you want something in the wrestling industry, it's really, you know, there's a certain way to do it, you know, and it comes hand in hand with hard work, really showing, you know, what you want, and also being really verbal about it as well. You know, you got to talk the talk and walk the walk.
And you mentioned like that you beat Oksana. I mean, when it was FCW, there were girls like down there that are now on the main stage. I mean, Summer Rae, Paige, Naomi, AJ. I mean, back then, did you know that them girls would be stars?
You know, I did. They are just such professionals, and each one of those girls has a light. I can definitely say, especially, well, my first match ever was with AJ, and she took such good care of me and really had me learn a lot. But I can say that my favorite female wrestler that I have ever worked with would be Paige. She taught me so much. She's still my friend to this day. And she just reeks of being a star, and she's just going to do great things for this company, as we've already seen, you know, with her taking the WWE Divas Championship on her debut. You know, like, that's just the beginning with Paige, and all of those girls are just so special, and they're going to make a great name for themselves with WWE.
And, like, Paige is like, I've met Paige once, and she's like a really nice girl. And as you say, she won her belt on her first night. But then for 3 months after that, did nothing much, and then they brought back AJ, and you know, there are girls as you mentioned in NXT. Do you think it's time that they bring up some of the girls from NXT to, you know, actually help them, you know, the girls on the main roster?
You know, that's actually a hard you know, thing to say, because, you know, with WWE, you know, there's only so much TV time, even though all the superstars get a lot of time. It's difficult because it's a man-based business. You know, the guys are going to have the most TV time, and, you know, when we see somebody like Paige, who is just on consistently every single week, and then, you know, we see not much of her, you know, that's just like the flow of how everything goes. And that's also the same thing with NXT sometimes. You know, you see one girl, and then for another couple of weeks you don't see her, and then she pops up again, you know. But I believe everybody is going to get their limelight eventually, and I think most of when you see a diva, like, certain politics come into hand, and also, like, a lot of behind-the-scenes things that I would say, like, people watching don't see or understand.
And I think, you know, especially in this day and age with the divas, they have to make an impact on their, like, you know, straight away. If not, they kind of get lost in the shuffle. And
definitely.
And you know, there are many girls that have had, you know, a big push. You know, case in point, you think of the Funkadactyls, that, you know, for a while they were with Tensai and Clay, then they disappeared, and now they're sort of total divas. And the fans, like, you know, it kind of sucks because the fans will easily turn on the girls, and just look at AJ. The fans chant for her husband instead of her, which to me makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, you know, I can imagine that must be a little annoying, you know, just because you're out there, you know, to push yourself, you know, as a wrestler. And, you know, it's hard as a woman, you know, in numerous ways, especially, you know, in any industry, but especially in the wrestling industry, because it is a man-based business, which, you know, that's just how it is, you know. And to just even step into the business as a woman, like, even on the indies, or, you know, just into, if you want to go and take a class, like, there's always, like, this pressure that you have to just be with the guys, be better than the guys, you know, and just constantly be trying to, you know, prove that you can do it, you know, just because you're a woman. You know, I'm sure, like, everybody feels pressure coming into the wrestling industry, but especially I can imagine how annoying that is for AJ, you know, even though I'm sure she loves her man, but she probably doesn't want to hear his name in the middle of her match. But it is hard. It's harder as a woman, and you do got to make that impact right away.
Mm. Now, you mentioned earlier, like you took a break between FCW becoming transcended to NXT, and a lot of people thought that you got released. What actually happened there? Like, were you released, or did you just take time off?
Actually, I went into rehab for an eating disorder. And someone, I was really close to Joey Mercury when I was in FCW. He was my mentor and my coach, and he and the strength and conditioning coach there at the time noticed that I was really sick, and I just wasn't mentally okay, and physically I was doing a really bad job keeping up with what I needed to do, and they finally convinced me to go into rehab for a long-time disease I had. And so I took 2 months and stayed in an inpatient facility. And from then on, I just didn't know how to come back into wrestling and still keep my recovery intact, because this business is very much focused on how you look, and so I just wasn't ready for that kind of challenge. So I took a whole year off. I really focused on myself and really needed to get healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and that's where I was. And
then when you did return, you returned to NXT as the O2 Diva. How did you come up with that idea?
It was actually on accident. Like back in FCW, I feel like you had a lot more creative leeway to where you can go up to a producer and be like, "Hey, I have this idea. Can I run with it tonight?" And they would be like, "Sure." If you've developed that trust, and if you don't, botch your stuff, then you have that certain amount of trust. And so one day I was already kind of playing with the character of like just being a mean girl and being really prissy, but I wanted to take it up a notch because I felt like that's already been done, over and over in the years. And so I'm like, what if I do like a Lady Gaga thing? And this also came in to play with some of the writers up top, with WWE. They were kind of playing around with that idea. And so I decided to try it that one night at FCW, and it just stuck. Stuck. And yeah, I just kept going, and it was just so much fun, and it was really cool to just live out my alter ego. And so it was half of the writer's idea, and then half of me just really wanting to do something different one night.
So then at the time we had the O2 Diva and the Anti Diva, and then I'm pretty sure if you need any other divas idea, just bring it along because we need more divas on TV. As you mentioned Paige, I mean, I believe you when you re-debuted, you beat Paige again, I believe, if I'm being right there.
Yeah.
Now, and then once again you left WWE NXT again. Now, was that a release or was that you taking time off again in 2012?
Yes, that was a release.
And was that kind of like they had nothing for you, or?
If I'm being completely honest, I don't know.
Okay.
I did get hurt when I was at NXT the second time around. After my rehab, I came back, and I was, I had some neck problems when I was at FCW. That were pressing, and then they flared back up again when I came back to NXT. Just a lot of nerve damage in my neck and a lot of pain. And so after about 6 months there, they decided to have me do commentary and, to do other things because I'm a good character. I'm really good on the mic, and I'm okay with saying that because I worked really hard. And then one day I just got the release, and I didn't see it coming, but like I said before, the time I had there at WWE was a blessing, and it really taught me a lot. And but yeah, I was just as surprised as everybody else.
Because I think so you were released, and then you were brought back again, and then you released again without appearing on TV. It's kind of like they can't really decide, whether they want you or they don't. And
no.
Sorry,
actually, the first time when I left WWE for rehab, it was me saying that I need a break.
Yeah.
So I asked for my release, and then the second time around when I came back to NXT, like this recent time, then that was a release from them. So, yeah.
So, what is next for you? Because like I saw on Twitter, and this might start, a bit of talk that you followed on
That's
Twitter Impact Wrestling and Dixie Carter. I mean, is there any interest, possibly going to TNA?
Right now my life is an open book. I am in talks with certain promotions right now, to make either appearances, or to be a recurring character. I just putting this out there. Yeah, I would love to be a part of TNA. But right now currently I'm in school for veterinary technology. I'm in love with animals, and I'm also working with Randy Quintana in El Paso for a t-shirt line. And doing some modeling right now. So I've got a full plate, and I'm just looking to live life and to live it hard. And I love wrestling, and I'm open to being a part of it in any way I can.
And the thing is, you are so young. And I said to you when I first spoke to you, you are 12 days younger than me. So like,
yeah.
It's quite strange to be doing an interview with someone younger than me. But like, you've literally got, you can do what you want, because you're such a young age. You're such a good wrestler. So in my opinion, you can do the world's your oyster.
You know what? By the grace of God, I am young, and my boyfriend, who's also a wrestler, is always telling me, he's like, "You're so young, like you can do whatever you want," And so right now, I'm just trying to do everything that I want. So that's kind of the glory of, as much as I love doing with WWE, but a good part about not being a part of WWE is that you have the freedom to do what you want, and you're not tied down to a contract. And so I can travel the world and wrestle if I want to, and I can do my school, and there's just so much possibility out there. So hell yeah, I'm excited.
Let's see. I'll take down fan questions. You've just answered. You've just answered. You were given a leave of absence. What do you study at school? Didn't you say you did something with animals when you left to go to school?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm doing that right now. And so like right now, I have worked with animals for the past couple of years, either volunteering and helping them, find homes, a lot of shelter work. But now I'm actually in school to learn how to, make them better. So I'm trying to learn how to be a puppy kitty nurse and eventually be going on to be a veterinarian.
Another question is, what is the best thing about being a Guerrero?
Disgusting.
Oh, there is just so much respect and love out there for the Guerrero name, and I'm still in awe every day of my dad and our family and what everybody has done, and just like the best part, the best part about being a Guerrero is the passion and fire we have for this business and for entertaining people. And I can say that with Chavo going out there and just being in movies and doing amazing things with his career, and with my mother and my dad, like everybody, just did such a great job. And it's because we have passion, and we got that Latino heat.
That is true. Like I met Chavo before, and when he was with TNA, that dude, it's just pure wrestling. And another girl that I met is Hector. Hector's like one dude. If you speak to him, he gets passionate about nothing, and it's fantastic. Because I got him to sign a picture of like when he did the gobbledygooker thing, and he starts telling me the story for about 2 hours about how he came up with the idea, and that dude's crazy. Like he's passionate about wrestling, but he is crazy as heck.
Yeah, we got we're definitely a family of characters. Each brother, everybody in this family. You won't be bored. I'll tell you that.
What else do we have? Let's see. It says, "Hi, Shaul. You're my favorite of mine since FCW. You're my favorite. You have the it factor, mic work, and in-ring skill. You've kind of answered already, but are you looking to return to wrestling?" And you've already said yes.
Yes.
Let's see what else. Any advice you would give to people trying to get into the business?
You have to stay intact with who you are. That was something that happened to me. That was part of why I went to rehab. I lost who I was, and I tried to be something that I thought the world wanted. So I would definitely say be who you are, work hard, work really hard, because this business is tough as hell. I did not think it was going to be as tough as I thought until I got in the ring and got my ass handed to me. So I would definitely say stay true to who you are and work hard.
Another question: who would your favorite diva to work with?
Paige, hands
Paige.
down.
Just hands down.
Hands down, she's my favorite.
There's another question. As you mentioned earlier, you managed the Ascension. At that time, did you know that they were going to be stars?
Yes, I love Connor. He taught me so much, and so did at the time his name was Tito Colon. All the guys were so great, and they taught me what to watch for in the ring, and
Nice.
also Kenneth Cameron, that was his name back then at FCW. They were great guys, and I knew that they were all going to make it in some way. And whether it was wrestling or whether it's acting, whatever they wanted to do, they were going to be successful, and I owe them a lot for everything that they taught me.
Another question: what made you pursue wrestling as a career at such a young age?
It was, I was trying to make it as an entertainer before I got into wrestling. I was a dancer, a singer, a model, and one day I went to SummerSlam, and Johnny Laurinaitis took, I guess he saw me and he was like, "Wow, you're really beautiful. You could do this if you'd like, and we give you a shot, and I was open for any opportunity. I didn't know how much I really loved it though until I got in the ring, and I just felt at home. So yeah, I think it was the first time I actually stepped into a wrestling ring that I realized how much I loved it.
Well, fingers crossed. Hopefully, we'll see you back in the ring very soon. Is there anything else you want to promote before we finish this up?
You know what? Just keep an eye out for me, because I'll be making my debut very soon. And, just keep an eye out for my projects. I'll be on Twitter. And just thanks to you guys. This is an awesome interview. Thank you.
You are more than welcome. I'm not gonna lie. Once I probably put it on YouTube, I'm gonna get absolutely slammed because people don't like me.
Ooh.
Well, I thought that you were fantastic.
Being honest with you, once I put it online, people are gonna moan saying, "Oh, you started blah 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 blah."
No, well, I really appreciate you guys having me on here, and just, keep doing you, and thank you for just being really great with me and really nice. I appreciate it. This is my first interview ever, so it's awesome.
Well, I hope that, I was at least, semi good at doing the interviews, because, as long as my guests don't mind how I speak, I don't give a fuck what anyone else says.
You know what? You can't. I've decided pretty recently, that I can't really care about what other people say, and the haters keep you going. They really do. They make you famous, so they're a blessing in disguise.